Hi everyone. In the previous topic, we discussed about the network software, which contains the layered network architectures. Today we will see two important network architectures. The first one is OSI reference model and the second one is TCP IP reference model. First, we will see the OSI reference model. This is the first step towards the international standardization of protocols developed by the International Standards Organization, and the model is called as ISO OSI reference model. This OSI stands for Open Systems Interconnection, since this system is used for connecting open systems. This figure shows the OSI reference model. It is a 7-layered network architecture model. As you can see, each host contains 7 layers, layer 1 to layer 7, and the layers are given specific names. The layer 1 is called the physical layer, layer 2 data link layer, 3 network layer, 4 transport layer, 5 session layer, 6 presentation layer, and the 7th one application layer. And as we already seen, each layers are connected using solid physical connection, and between two hosts the layers are connected using the dotted virtual connection, and the adjacent layers contains interfaces between them. Also in the figure you can see the bottommost network, data link and the physical layers are not directly connected to the physical data link and the network layer of host 2. Rather, it is connected through a subnet, and the subnet is actually part of the whole network, which contains transmission lines and switching elements, and these switching elements commonly send data from one host to another host. The common switching element used is routers. As you can see, there will be routers, and the host will forward the data to router. The router will in turn forwards the data to the destination host. In the figure, it is also mentioned the name of the unit exchanged at each layer. In each layer, the data will be named by a particular name. The bottommost physical layer, the data will be called as bit. Data link layer, the data will be called as frame. In network layer, the data will be called as packet. In transport layer, it will be called as TPDU. This TPDU is Transport Protocol Data Unit. This is also called by the name segment. And for the session layer, it is SPDU, Session Protocol Data Unit. For the presentation layer, Presentation Protocol Data Unit. And for application, it is Application Protocol Data Unit. So this is a 7-layered architecture. Now we will see each layer in detail. The first layer is the bottommost layer, the physical layer. The physical layer is actually concerned with transmitting raw bits of data, for transmitting the bit 0 and 1, and many issues are related with the physical layer, which include how many volts should be used to represent 1 or 0, how many nanoseconds a bit lasts, whether the transmission is duplex, how the initial connection is established and how it is terminated, how many pins are actually used and what is the purpose of each pin. Here the design issues are largely dealt with the mechanical, electrical and timing interface. Underlies the physical layer is the physical medium. So the physical layer actually forwards the bit values into the physical medium. The second layer is the data link layer, which resides above the physical layer. The main task of the data link layer is error control. The data should be made error-free when reaching the destination, and this task is commonly accomplished by breaking the data into data frames. And if the service is reliable, the receiver sends back an acknowledgement frame to the sender. Another issue that is dealt with the data link layer is the flow control to deal with the fast transmitter and a slow receiver. Also, the transfer of data is also regulated using some traffic regulation mechanisms where the receiver will intimate the sender how much buffer space is available for receiving the data. In broadcast networks where the data is sent to all the hosts in the network, some access control is required for the shared channel, and for dealing with this purpose the data link layer uses medium access control sublayer, which is commonly called as MAC sublayer. Moving to the third layer, the network layer. The main purpose of the network layer is routing. Routing means forwarding the packets from the source to destination. This can be done statically or dynamically. Another issue that is dealt with the network layer is the controlling of congestion. If too many packets are available in the subnet, it may cause some bottlenecks. This should be properly avoided. And some other services like delay, transit time, jitter is also dealt with this network layer. When a packet travels from one network to another network, many problems arises. The first one is the addressing problem. Two networks will be using different addresses. The second network will not accept packet if it is too large. The protocols may also differ. All these problems are handled by the network layer. Then comes the transport layer. The main purpose of the transport layer is to accept the data from the above session layer, split into smaller pieces and pass it to the network layer. Transport layer is commonly called as end-to-end layer. The transport layer also provides what type of services to the above session layer. The common type of services include the error-free point-to-point channel that transfers messages without any error, or for transporting isolated messages there will not be any guarantee for the order of delivery. All these type of services is determined by the transport layer. Hope you are clear with the topic. If you have any doubts, do comment.